Hello. Hi. Just push that up just a little bit. Okay, if you're here, please say hello so I know you're here. I can see somebody's here. So, we're winging it again today, people. So, I am Casey Christensen. I reside in West Kelowna, BC. Beautiful West Kelowna today. And I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. This is my favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. And so I thought today we'd play with something a little different. We haven't played with this one yet. This is the, I always forget the name of this one. This paper is the Ever Eden. Haven't decided yet which one to use. And we're going to use the Dragonfly Garden, and it has a punch. So there's two sizes of Dragonfly here, and I'm yet a little undecided as to what I'm going to do. Hi, Karen. Yeah, go get something to drink so you can get comfy. Look at this. Oh my goodness, I must have been busy. I do this when I do things. I like to, if I don't use them all, I like to put them right in the case where I started them from, because then I can use them or not waste them. I used to put them in a container, but then I'd forget all about the container, and then next thing you know, I'm cutting out 1,000,000 dragonflies when I already have 1,000,000 dragonflies. So, not so good. So, today we're going to play with this set, and I'm just going to decide. We're going to do some simple stamping today. I thought I'd keep it a little bit simple today. So, we're going to do some simple stamping. I'm going to use a white for my card base. And then, let's see. I haven't really decided what I want to use from here yet. So, let's have a look. Don't know if I want anything too busy, so we'll just have a look here and see what I'd like to use. I kind of like this. I don't know if you can see the design on there, but it's sort of black and a little bit of green and stuff. It's got kind of a neat feathery look to it. So, hi Kimmy, how are you? It's either that one or this one. I really can't decide. I think I'm going to go with this darker one. So, Kim, today we're going to play with the Dragonfly set, and this one's been out for a while. I don't even know what retired today. It is the day that the new catalog came out. You know what? I think maybe I want to, I don't know, should I go crazy and use something like this? Maybe I should. Doesn't really work with the Dragonfly theme, though. But I like the colors. Maybe I'll work with this one. This one's a little tamer. Let's do that one. So let's work with that one. The new catalog came out today, and I haven't even had a chance to breathe. So I haven't looked through it. It's my intention to do that later on. And then I have a video to watch where my upline, Ange McKay, she's my mentor, and she goes through the whole catalog and tells us what's expired and what's going to carry over to the next catalog. So I love dragonflies too. They're kind of like my favorite. They're kind of like my favorite thing. So let's do this. Now, I don't think we'll do a tall card, a slimline card today. I think we'll do a standard card. So let's start with getting our card base here. Again, 8.5 by 11 paper. I'm going to cut it at, let me think. You know what I think I want to do? Yeah, I think I'm going to make a different opening of a card. So we're going to cut this at 4 1/4 at the lengthwise, okay? So that then we'll score it at 5 1/2. And then our card will be a different shape somewhat, which lends itself to something tall, which is what we're doing today. We're going to do something a little tall. Whoops, I just about cut that. Just about cut it. So I've been getting ready. I've just been busy today. I've been getting ready because I have to go to my friend's celebration of life. And so tomorrow. And I kind of lucked out. I wasn't really enthusiastic about driving all the way down there, but I kind of lucked out. One of Leslie's nieces, whom I've never met, but we've been having a great chat, one of her nieces lives up here in Kelowna. So I'm going to be driving down with her, and we're just going to be the day, you know. So again, let's check our direction here. We now want to be 5.5 inches tall. So I'll start by cutting my 4 1/4. Okay, because we want this to sit upright, you know, in the proper direction on this card, because this one's going to open this way, just a little bit different from what we've done before. So I do want to have the height. So let's cut this at 4 1/4. So I don't know if I want to cut it down or not. Anyway, so she and I are going to drive down tomorrow and be back the same day. So today I was just wanting to do something nice for her, so I was making these cute little in the hoop embroidery project for making Kleenex cases. So they're pretty cute. So I made one for her and one for Leslie's daughter Chelsea, because I think it's going to be a Kleenex day tomorrow. So why not have a pretty case to put the Kleenexes in. Now, this one I am going to use the full size. I just don't feel like having any white showing. So I'm going to do this one. The cool thing is this paper isn't really very directional at all. But I do want some of this paper to show. So let's set that aside. I'm also going to cut a piece of the Evening Evergreen, still my favorite color. And I'm going to cut that. Oh, there's new colors coming out, by the way. How does these sound? There's new, I can't show you yet, but there's brand new blendables and inks and everything. Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, and Starry Sky. And then there's another one that's of a, I don't know, I guess a lavender nature, a royal, I don't know what it is. Anyways, that's what's coming out. So I know I'm not going to want to cover up all that paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, I'm going to cut myself off a 3-inch strip here, and we'll see how it goes. You can always cut it down, but you can't add more. So we're going to see how that goes. Oh, I touched something, didn't I? All right, put that mouse where I can't touch it. There we go. Okay, so I know I'm going to want to have some of this, this show, probably more than that, but for the moment, let's just see how we do. So I want to have, we're going to do, like I said, some simple stamping. So it's a great way to get a beautiful card with minimal work, but doesn't necessarily look like you didn't work very hard at it. So let's get our Stamparatus. And I am going to put the lower black base on it. I'm not going to use the higher one because, again, I think I'm going to be stamping in the corner again. So let's get this guy, and I just want to see how much territory this stamp that I want to use does. These dragonflies are pretty cool. If we have time today, I'll show you how to do the reverse stamping. But as you can see, these little blurs of wings that actually go, you stamp them first and then you stamp the dragonfly on top. The little blurs of wings are very nice, but I wish they'd given us the opposite side. So we have to do some reverse stamping to get that. So we'll see how our timing goes, and if our timing goes well, we can do that. But I'm not even 100% sure about the dragonflies at this moment. They're kind of big, and I sort of have a vision going on in my head with all the other visions that go on in my head. So, yes, your pumpkin kit. I'm going to have a, I signed up for something, it's a demonstrator thing with Stampin' Up. I signed up for something called On Tour, and I'm pretty darned excited about it. And with that comes a bunch of stuff, and I'm told it's going to arrive on Friday. So I'll have some, hopefully have some fun things to show you. I'm going to put it over here just because. And guess what? I don't think, because this is fairly detailed, the design is quite detailed. So I'm not sure I want to go in and, you know, color every stem and whatnot. I think it would be kind of labor intensive, and I'm afraid I would go out of the lines. So I'm just going to, I'm going to stamp this time. I'm going to stamp this in what did I do with it? Here. I'm going to stamp it in the Evening Evergreen because then my stems are already green, right? Your kit should be coming pretty soon, Kim. I think people are starting to get them now. You know, I think I should lower that down a bit so I have some options. I'm just not sure what I'm doing exactly. So I know I want it to be over to one side, but I'm not sure how much room I want between the top and the bottom. So I think I'm going to do it like that, and it gives me some options when I fully decide what I'm doing. So let's get our evening evergreen. So yeah, I meant to be able to spend some time on the new catalog, check out the new stuff, check out what's retiring. I had a whole list of things I was going to do today, but then with this memorial tomorrow, I realized that, you know what, I really don't have anything that's suitable for like go to a celebration of life stuff, at least not anything that fits me. Back in the day when I was fully on prednisone, I was a size 20, and now I'm a size 12. So I still have 10 to 12, depending on the brand. I still have clothes from then, but I don't have anything current that I could wear. So I went to, you know, I'm just not going to spend a ton of money on funeral wear. So I went to Walmart just to see if I could get myself a cheap pair of black pants. And that's a hard thing to do this time of year, apparently. So I came home, took my size 20s, ripped them apart. Ooh, that's very pretty. Ripped them apart and turned them into size 12s. So there you go. That's what I'm wearing. I'll put on a nice shirt. They're dark gray. They're not black. They're dark gray. But, you know, that'll work. That'll work too. Good thing I kept something from my shop days, from my working days. This is a really pretty design. It's very delicate though, so it's not going to be the, for me anyways, it's not going to be the easiest thing to color, depending on the day I'm having. Aw, thank you, Kimmy. I try. I do try. I really do try. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's just so delicate. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I want it to dry, and then I'm going to think about where I'm going to go with this. Let's see. Let's give that a clean off. I also washed all my brushes today because yesterday, I guess, I don't know, I was stamping with my friend Susan, which we do quite often, and I just wasn't very focused. Do you ever have a day like that where you're just not focused? Oh, hello, Ralph. Nice to see you. Ralph is my cousin from South Africa, and he's recently immigrated. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ralph. I think he immigrated to New Zealand, Ralph and Karen. So he's my, I don't know, third cousin, I think, on my mom's side. So we've been kind of getting to know each other with the wonder of Facebook. But yeah, nice to have you here, Ralph. Anyways, I was in one of those moods where I wasn't very focused, and so I tended to make a few mistakes, and I put my dark brush into my light ink, etc., etc. Anyways, it's a big schmozzle. So I had to redo. So I had to wash all the brushes to get all the incorrect colors off of there. So we also on here have this fun little grouping of little critters, which we might use. But you'll see on this punch, we have both a little dragonfly and a big dragonfly. So I'm just going to see how we go with this and what I do. So that's it for that. We're going to give it a little second to dry because I found out yesterday what happens if you don't do that. Well, maybe with Memento, but it's so nice to see you here, Ralph. I do this almost every day at 4 o'clock, and then I do it again on Tuesday. Not every day, but almost every day. It depends on what my day is bringing me. And then I also do it on Tuesdays, always on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. But the drop-ins around 4 is just kind of like if I feel like popping on and doing a little something. Let's get ourselves a trimmer. And I'm just going to trim some of this off. Not an exact measurement. I'm just going to trim some off and see how I like it. I don't want it to be too, yeah, I think I'm going to make it fairly narrow because I want to have some of this beautiful paper behind here showing. So I am going to make it fairly narrow. And all I'm doing for placement is on this cutter, there's a little glass bar there that you can see, and I'm kind of lining it up until it's at the glass bar, but no more. So we'll just see how that works. Okay. So my plan is to put it on this and be able to see some of this paper on the other side, because I hate it. I love using DSP, but I don't like to cover too much of it up because it's so beautiful, right? So let's see what size card we have here. So we're going to want to trim that off. And I'm going to start with the top. I'll get my smaller cutter here. I'm going to start at the top and take off some. And then see where it sits on here. I think that, like, I'm not sure. You know me, I fly by the seat of my pants, so I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Do I want to just have green on two sides and none on the top and go right up to the top of the card? Let's try that first. I can always trim down, right? So I'm just going to use my pencil and mark where I would like to cut that green piece. And I actually know already that it's going to be the same size as my card. So I'm going to do a little marking there, and I'm going to cut that too at the same time so that I can use the little guy. I like using the little guy. He's very accurate and he's really easy to use. So that's that, and then we'll take off this little bit here, and let's see what we get. So I can have it like this. I can do that. I can have it, you know, be the green all the way around, or I can just have the green. You know what? I think I probably like the green all the way around. Yeah, I probably do. All right, let's see. Which look, Karen? Do you like it with green on two sides or the green all the way around? I could just never decide. I think sometimes I just want something to be a little different from the last one. So again, I'm just going to use my pencil. I'm going to mark off. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Green on two sides is yeah, so you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. It kind of spoke to me when I was playing with it. So let's do the green on two sides, which means I'm going to cut this off at, and that's 5.5. So I'm going to cut this off at 5.5 too, and I'll use the trimmer because I can't really do that on that baby trimmer. So let's see, 5.5. 5.5. There we go. Give that a little cut. And like I've mentioned before, always keep these little bits. You'd be surprised how often I can take a little piece like that and stamp a sentiment on it. So why waste it, right? I know I'm wasteful with some things, but when it comes to the white cardstock, I'm constantly looking for a little piece, either to make a sentiment, or sometimes just to test a color. Sometimes I just want to test a color, and it's nice to have a little piece there. So I like that. Let's see how that looks. I think I still want to take a sliver off of the I don't know, let's see. What do we think? Yeah, maybe that's okay. A little bit more showing, and I'll have a little bit of the DSP showing on this side. So there we are. Yes, they are good for die cutting. They really are. So now I'm going to color this, and what I'm going to use is I have this. I don't have all of these markers, but this is the marker, not the blendable. So it doesn't blend. It's each stamp set or each stamp color has one of these, but because I haven't really been collecting them, I just have the in colors. So they're really nice markers, but I'm starting to see the value in having these. So it's on my wish list of maybe I'll buy the whole set, because one of the things you could do is you could take a stamp, like say let's just pretend that this one will work. It wouldn't really, but let's just pretend. You could take a stamp and you can do all this coloring directly onto the stamp, all the different colors that you want to have. And then once you've colored it all with these markers, not blendables, you put it on your stamp that you're going to stamp it with. And just before you stamp it, you huff it, you know, with your mouth, a few times, stamp it down, and all those colors are stamped on there for you. And I have seen that done, and it's actually pretty cool. So I am giving some thought. I just might, might do something like that. So let's get my gold one here for the moment. We're going to get my gold one because I know I'm dealing with sort of a daisy situation. Now, I'm not going to color in every single petal. I'm really just going to give it a hit of color, just a hit of color with each of these little petals. I'm not really concerned with the full color in, just enough to say that it's yellow, okay? Because if I try and color, I don't know if you can see that, but if I try and color, I'm in danger of running the evergreen behind it, and I just don't want to do that. Whoops, that's way over there, isn't it? Oh well, it's blurry. Anyways, I'm going to carry on doing that with these ones that are definitely of a daisy nature. I don't know exactly what they are. Forgot to put myself on Do Not Disturb. Because for some reason, even though everybody knows I go on at 4, I get like 5 people trying to hit me up at 4 o'clock. This is quite pretty. I'm liking these little flowers. And if you just give it a simple line, it actually does sort of, it will blend in a little. Now I've gone over the slightest little bit, so I'm going to go in with my, I keep forgetting the name of this, color lifter, and I'm going to take it off. The color lifter is brilliant. It will remove the color that you got out of place. It will leave a little stain at the moment of it, but then it will disappear because it's alcohol based, right? So there you have it. So let's do a little bit more of this. What else do I have here? You know, I don't think I have anything else that I want to be that color. All right, so the green we're going to use, just because I only have a certain amount of markers, we're going to use Just Jade. It's a really pretty shade. These are the in colors right here that are ending with the new catalog. The in colors come out and they're valid for 2 years. And so the in colors before this were both in the catalog because there's the ones from last year, which are 2 years good, and the ones from this year, which are 2 years good. So, but these ones will be going out. These ones will definitely be going out. And we'll be getting some new ones. I'm kind of excited. We'll just have to see what kinds of colors that brings us, but I'm kind of excited. I think I should use the paintbrush end of this because the other one is a little too, you know, just a little hint of color. We're not really going crazy and coloring the whole thing. It's just a little hint of color. If we try and color the whole thing, then I think it's just not going to look that good. I think it just needs that little color, a little bit of color. Yeah. My husband's in the kitchen making ribs. My husband's always in the kitchen. He practically lives in there. And it works for me. I'm fine with that. He does love to cook, and he's pretty darn good at it. All right, now I'm trying to decide if those little flowers warrant a pretty color. Maybe they do. Maybe they warrant a pink. Let's just see what we get. Oh, sure they do. That looks nice. A little bit of pink. Give it a little life, you know. Just a little hint, tiny little hint. It is kind of easier, Kim. It just depends on the kinds of things that you want to do. Like, I've been in this for 3 years, and I've only ever had the blends. But I do kind of like what I've been seeing lately using the markers. So I'm sort of intrigued, and you know, I have everything else. Why not? Why wouldn't I, right? Why wouldn't I? Ralph, if you're still there, what's the coloring, or what's the COVID situation there where you are? We've given up all the restrictions here, and I'm still wearing a mask because I'm nervous. Oh, no, you're right. I didn't know what you were talking about. Yes, the color lifter, it neutralizes the color. It literally sucks the color up and into the pen, but it doesn't really make a mess of the pen. So it's pretty neat. I'm a fan. I use it more often than I care to admit to, but, you know, it's one of those things. I have good coloring days, and I have not so good coloring days, but when you got a handy-dandy little eraser like that, it's pretty cool. All right, so I like those. Let's see, what else? What else do I have on here? I probably can use this cinnamon cider for the tops of these, whatever these are, daisies or whatever's they are. And then the ones that I really don't know what they are, I'm just going to hit them with the tiniest, oh, I missed a couple of leaves there. I'm just going to hit them with the tiniest little speck of color, you know, like almost nothing, just a little hit, just so that there's something. And I'm going to do that with this cinnamon cider, because I think everything's kind of like muted colors here. So I'm just going to give it a little hit here like this. Yeah, that's kind of working. You don't want anything too, you know, bright. It's not that kind of a thing, but I think this is working. And I'm just giving it the tiniest little hint. I'm not even really coloring anything. I'm just, you know, drawing little lines of color. I wear a mask all the time, Kim. I'm actually, you know, not to sound like a schoolgirl, but I might be the only one wearing a mask at this memorial, but I'm darn well going to wear one. I'm just too high risk not to. If I get it, I don't, you know, that I might not survive it if I got it. So I'm just going to do my own thing, and kind of like that kid wearing the Batman backpack to grade school when Batman's not cool anymore, but I just don't care. I'm too, you know, I don't care. I'm going to do what's right for me. Yes, that's looking quite good. I like that. And then I want to do, oh, there's a couple of more spots of leaves that I'm noticing as I'm coloring. I'm noticing leaves that I've forgotten or haven't really gotten enough color on them. There's these little spots of leaves here that you can barely see, even if they are leaves. I don't know, but they're leaves now. And they're so little, they just require a line, you know, nothing more than just a line of color, just to add a little bit of color. Oh, I'm going cross-eyed. That's good. Yeah. So I like that. That looks pretty good, and it's in keeping with the paper, nothing too bright and crazy. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find myself a subtle kind of embossing folder. Bark. I don't know how subtle bark would be. That's not subtle at all. I think this one, Tasteful Textures, is extremely subtle. It's like almost nothing, but it is something. So that will require my bigger embossing machine. So let me grab that. There we go. The monster puppy. And I need plates. Okay, so I need 1 and 4. Is that 4? And that should do it. So I'm going to give this a subtle emboss. Nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy. Just enough to give it a little character, right? So let's do this. Get my machine set up. So I'll get out this. I'm hoping there's some new embossing folders coming out in the new catalog too. I'm hoping to get a chance to look at that this evening. after I finish making Kleenex cases. Oh yes, happy anniversary, Kim. We just had our 30th. Okay, so here we are. I've got it. This is a thicker embossing folder. So you're just going to use your plate number 1. You're going to put the embossing folder here. Now, as I see what I just about did, as I mentioned before, you always want to see your Stampin' Up, and that's the right way to put it in. So now I'm going to have to change it because I put it in the wrong way. You want to see Stampin' Up here, and then that's the side you're going to have looking up to you, your image looking up to you, there. And then we're going to do number 1. So the fold should be going in first, and you should be able to see your Stampin' Up emblem staring you in the face. We'll pop this guy in. I always do it twice. I don't know if everyone does or even if you need to, but that's what I do. That's what I do. So let's pop that out. I think it's going to look really cool. You don't need those anymore. On the floor, where everything else goes. And so now I've given this a little embossing, and it actually looks really cool. I don't know what you can see, but it kind of looks cool with when you emboss over top of your stamping. Don't know how well you can see that, but I like it. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to put it straight on to our, oh, that's not it. What did I do with it? Oh, I'm so good at this, aren't I? Oh, there it is. There it is. I lost my bits. Okay, I think we're going to put it straight on to the green bit here. And then we'll pop up the whole thing. So let's do that. Let's put our card together first. And where's my gun? See, I try so hard to work neatly, but I do end up burying everything every single time I work. I don't know what it is about me. I think if you gave me a desk that was like 10 feet long and 10 feet wide, I'd still make a mess close to me. So I'm always looking for something. I love embossing folders. I really do. Bye, Ralph. Love to Karen. You and Karen both. Stay safe out there. That's kind of cool. Ralph and I have a common love of old music, you know, Beatles and, you know, all kinds of, you know, like 50s, 60s music. There we are. So see, I've covered the entire card front there. Completely covered it. And then I'm going to put this one on. And I think I'm going to put this one on with glue. I like to use my tape gun, but when you have embossing, it's kind of better to use glue to do this because the glue sinks into the embossing. Sometimes if you put tape on, it will come away from the cardstock if you've got tape on an embossed piece. So I am going to use my glue. I'll just, oh, I hate when it happens like that. Oh, gosh. Oh, my glue is bubbling. I wonder why. That doesn't make me happy. We're going to hope for the best here. It's kind of coming out too fast. I don't know if it got warm or what. Anyways, so let's get that on here. And we want to just center it as well as we can. Remember, when you use glue, you do have a little bit of wiggle room because you can move it a tiny bit, like I'm going to have to. Up at the top there. I'm just going to do this. That does look nice, doesn't it? And then that's going to get popped up here, but we need to do other things to it first. So I would like to put a little bit of linen twine, because I think this card absolutely calls for linen. Oh dear, what have I done there? I also have these little doodads, but I'm not sure they would lend it. No, I think they're little flowers, but I think they're a little bit much for a card like this. I don't think we really need it to be quite so, I don't know, what's the word, frou-frou? I think they would stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, scissors, buried. Yeah, so this Amy that I've been talking to, she sounds adorable. I'm sure she's young, but she is my friend who passed away. It's her niece, and she lives in Kelowna, so it just so happened that she said, I heard you live in Kelowna too. If you're going, can we go together? So that's great. I'm good with that, because I don't really think my husband would let me drive down by myself. In fact, I know he wouldn't. Oh, I should have cut. Okay, I'm going to put that one away. I should have cut it just a little bit longer, because I think it looks really good with 3 wines around. I love the linen thread, but really I can only use it if there's several winds of it. I just find it too fine. So I do like to wind it around a few times. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, and let's see what my bow making talents are like today. One never knows. One never knows with me. Oh, maybe not such a good bow tying day. What? Oh, I did it. It's not pretty, but I did it. All right, let's fix that up a little bit. It's so hard to get a hold of this linen because it's so fine. Now let's tighten it, and then we'll bring it in a little. Okay, that works. I think that works okay. Well, I'm still not happy with that bow, but it just got a little twisted so that my loops aren't loopy. I like loopy loops. Oh, wait, maybe I can fix. Maybe I can fix. I think I can. I think I can. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to put this on the card with dimensionals. Now, not gonna lie, with that little glue accident, I feel like my card has warped slightly, but I think if I put enough dimensionals on it, I can correct that. That's a bad thing. I'm gonna get a different glue. This one, I don't know. It used to be fine, but I don't know now. I don't like that at all. It's just too watery. So it warps it weakens the cardstock, and the whole thing kind of warps a little bit. Not happy. Not a happy camper. What did I say I was going to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dimensionals. We're going to put lots on here just because I'm hoping it will account for the warping of the card. That just annoys me, like no end. So we'll put on like a ton of them. And we'll force it back into submission. What'd you do for your yeah, sometimes knots are not my friend either. It depends on the day. Some days I absolutely have to give up and just do a tie. Some days there's just no way. And other days I can do like 3 strands of this and tie a beautiful triple bow, and they actually look really pretty if I can pull one off. But I can't always do that. My fingers just, everything gets in the way. And it all ends up a little too loosey-goosey. I know I'm exaggerating the dimensionals, but I'm hoping that the card will sit nice, because you know me, if it's not perfect, it's going in the bin. The triple bow looks lovely, especially in linen. It really does. So Kim, I got my phone back, obviously, because I'm using it. What an ordeal that was. Oh my God, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. I dropped my phone at the hospital, cracked the screen. That was the beginning. Dropped it, cracked the screen. Then I figured I couldn't see well enough. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to have to get this screen fixed. And some time ago, I had bought a new battery for my phone as well. And I thought, oh, well, if I'm getting the screen fixed, I may as well get that battery put in, right? Get the battery done. So I go down there and I say to the guy, you know, this is the battery I've got. Oh no, this battery won't work. Oh, why not? He goes, well, it's an XR battery and you have an XRS. Okay, fair enough. Not going to work. Fine. Then he puts a new battery in, puts a screen in. I bring my phone home. Oh, and I got a new case because obviously my case isn't going to stop. It's just when you take, like Kim, taking like this length 3 times, 3 of them all together in your hand, and then tie a bow using all 3 strands. It looks really pretty. It's fairly easy to, depending on the day. So I said I also need a new case because obviously my case isn't stopping things from breaking. Okay, no problem, he says. Goes to put it all in. I go home, I can't charge my phone. I have those charging stands in my house. I love them, they're everywhere. I can't charge my phone. Okay, it's the case. Go back, they refund me the case. What about this one? What about this one? I said, I think I better stick to the one I have because I don't want to keep going back and forth if I have the same problem. No problem. They refunded me for the case. Cool. Now let's make some, I don't know if I'm going to use the big, I don't know. I can't decide. Let's make one. Let's make one and see what it looks like. I think that'll have to be a memento. I'm going to make a dragonfly. Now, there's 2 different kinds, and I like one better than the other. One of them has a little more detail in his bum, for lack of a better word. Anyway, so then I get my refund. I take the phone home, and it goes berserk, like you've no idea. It sends out texts that make no sense at all. It starts fluttering and flickering and bringing up a million pages, one right after the other, from God knows where, not even pages I've been to. Hi, Shanda. Oh my God, nice to see you. We're just doing a little bit of simple stamping here. Have you looked at the new catalog, Shanda? I haven't even gotten a chance. I want to, but I haven't gotten a chance yet. So, he said, oh, it's the screen. Then he said, oh, it's the battery. And I've been back and forth so many times, I was really upset. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, now that I know it, I'll have to make you cards with dragonflies on them. It has a special place in my heart, my heart as well. So I love using, I have quite a few stamps that have dragonflies on them because I just really, really like them. I'm going to use a gray here. Anyway, so many times back and forth, I finally said, okay, this is ridiculous. Please put my old battery back in my phone. And hopefully the screen will work, because you can't put my old screen back in my phone because it's broken. Is the stamp returning? Yay! Happy dance, happy dance. That's awesome. I haven't had a chance to look yet, Shanda. It's been a day. All good stuff, but it has been a day. I'm just going to color my dragonfly. I learned from experience I don't want to color him black because you can't see the lines in him. And I want to be able to see the lines. So, and then I'm always at a loss as to what to color the wings. I really am. Always. Every single time. I just don't really know what color to do the wings. So what I think I'm going to do is the palest of my blues, which, oh, no, not allowed to use that one. Okay, so I'm not using that one. Maybe a light pool party might be good, or what's this? Let's try a light balmy blue. Here's where those bits come in. Anyway, so they put my battery back in. I bring it home, and it's still doing the same thing. Still doing the same thing. So I took it down again, and by this time it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'm going to use Wink of Stella, but I feel like I need Do I need color under there or no? Just Wink of Stella? Do you think that'll work? I'm going to try it. I just don't know if it needs some color under the Wink. I always put the Wink of Stella on because I just love the Wink of Stella. Light pool party with it. Yeah, that's exactly what I had in my hand here. Light pool party with the Wink of Stella. Or did I have balmy blue? Balmy blue might be too much. Yeah, that's too much. Light pool party. So I went down, told him, put my old battery back in. You can leave the screen because I need the screen, and let's be done with this because I'm exhausted. It's 7 o'clock. I'm so tired. And I go down. He says, okay, we'll do that. Come down, pick it up. I go down to pick it up. Guess what? Oh, you know what? I don't think it is the battery. I said, I want my old battery back because apparently Apple parts are all coded. And so if you don't have Apple parts in your phone, which I assumed he was putting a new Apple battery in, never assume. So I'm coloring this, but I'm not really coloring it like full in. I'm just giving it some color. It's kind of like loosey-goosey coloring. Anyways, he goes, can you give me 40 more minutes? So I know this is weird. You won't even believe that I did this. You won't even believe that I did this. Across the street is a pub. I went, screw it. I'm so stressed I can hardly stand it. I went over to the pub all by myself on a Friday night. Needless to say, that's a little weird. Anyways, I went over to the pub and I had some poutine and, yeah, that looks pretty, Karen. Good one. I had some poutine and a Corona, which is the only beer I really like, and sat there and watched whatever it was on TV. So I go back and he says, you know what? Okay, we've put your battery back in, but you know what? It's the screen because it's not an Apple screen. It's not working. And I said, the screen wasn't Apple either. And he goes, no. He says, but I found a refurbished Apple. So bear with me here. We've refunded the case. We've refunded the battery, but we can't refund the screen because I won't have a screen at all. And that's not going to work for me. So he says, I found a solution. I go back, and I put my hand out for my phone, and he's not giving it to me. He says, I found a solution. I said, okay, what's your solution? He goes, well, I found a refurbished Apple battery. This is gorgeous, Karen. This is perfect. I found a refurbished Apple screen. So I said, okay, well, that's great then. And I still have my hand out wanting my phone back. And he says, well, the only thing is, while he's holding my phone hostage, the only thing is that it's going to cost more. Jeez. So I'm like, at this point, I don't care. You could tell me it's $500. I don't care. I'm leaving. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, Karen. I don't know if you can see this. Wink of Stella is the most amazing stuff. Kimmy, this is a must-have. It's just a little coating. It comes in colors, but just get the plain one, the clear one. And it just gives shimmer to things, just a nice shimmer to like butterfly wings or dragonfly wings. So he says it's going to be $80 more. And I'm like, I'm fit to be tied. I'm like, I knew that was going to happen. I knew you were holding it away from me for a reason. So I paid the $80. So turns out then that I didn't have to pay for the battery or the thing because I got those refunded, but the screen was another $80. So I'm like, okay, paid the $80, come home, and I'm feeling ripped off. I'm feeling really ripped off. I will, Kim. I'm feeling really ripped off. I'm kind of feeling a little sorry for myself. My husband has no sympathy whatsoever. So, you know. So I go to bed, and I can't sleep. I absolutely can't sleep. So I got up. This is a good thing. I got up, and I looked at my phone, and I started, you know, looking things up on the phone, and I found a site, an Apple site, registered Apple site, where they give you the prices of parts and whatnot. Guess how much a new screen is for my iPhone XRS? It's $385. So I felt a little less bad about the $210 that I ended up paying. So happy ending, but holy cow, no, not a good phone day. I had no idea they were that expensive. That's crazy. I'm just trimming a little bit off my dragonfly because I didn't get it quite perfect into the punch. So crazy beans, but I'm happy. Oh yeah, he looks really good. Where should we put him? I think we should put him like right over here somewhere. Yeah, I think so. And then the cool thing is you can put him on with, I'm going to use, where is it? I have a little, oh, I have these little tiny strips. And well, yeah, I will. I'm just going to cut off a tiny little bit of a strip and put it on the bigger part of his body because it gives him a little extra lift. So just a little bit. Just like that much. And I'll pop that onto his body area. That might be a little too much. I need to cut a little bit more off. There he goes. And then when you pop him onto your card, you can then give your wings a little perk up. So they stick up a little bit. And then the other thing I wanted to do, I'm still going to try it. I don't know if it will look good or not, but I got out a piece of vellum because there's these little tiny dragonflies here. So I just wanted to cut a couple and see what they would look like if I painted them with Wink of Stella. And we'll see what they look like. I'm just going to give one a little paint here. And then what I do is I put those on with a little tiny glue dot, and then I put a stone where the glue dot was so that you won't see it. Actually, this is kind of pretty. Let's give them a little, yeah, that's quite pretty. So let's get a tiny glue dot and pop that in. Remember to flip them over. I've done that before where I painted them with Wink of Stella and then I didn't flip them over. And I ended up with not very much Wink of Stella on there. So I'm going to pop that right into the middle of the wings, okay? A little glue dot. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? It's hard for me to do them without getting over top of them, but I'm trying. Nope, that one didn't work. Okay, so let's just, I think 2 is enough. So let's take off our glue dot cover. Come on, come on. Oh my goodness, stubborn little thing. I don't know if I like it or not. We're going to wait a second and see. Maybe with a jewel, I'll like it better. They're just a little hint of something, you know? Yeah, okay. I'm going to get a jewel, though. I think if they had a jewel on them, they'd be cuter. And what can I use here? What can I use? Maybe a little gold jewel, because we're working. These are gilded gems. Do you know if they stayed in, Shanda, gilded gems? I have to go look at Angie's thing. I just had so much on my plate today that I didn't get a chance to get online with her. I love when she goes online and shows everything that's expiring out of the calendar. So, oh, gotta do a better job than that. Come on now. Okay, you can't see them much. You can't see them much, but they're actually pretty cute. And I'm just popping up their their leaves a little bit. So we got a couple of baby dragonflies and a big one. And all those dimensionals did help a little to straighten out my card. I got to figure out what's going on with my glue. And then, what do we have here for sentiment? We could just go basic. Thank you for your kindness. For a true friend. How about that? For a true friend. That's a nice one. It doesn't take up too much space. We don't want to take up too much space. So let's get one of my itty bitty pieces of stuff here. And I'm going to stamp this with, where's my baby? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. There we go. I'm going to stamp it with the Evening Evergreen. Oh, they are being retired. Okay. Okay. Whew. Hard to keep up. Hard to keep up. That's okay, though. I sort of have two, because I do a lot of card making for other people. I sell my cards. So I sort of have two things. One of them is stuff I can't demo with, and the other one is stuff that I love that I use for, you know, that I don't put online or do demos with. So I have to keep those things somewhat separate. Okay, so let's give this a... Let's just give it a stamp, see how that looks. Excuse me. Oh, that's nice. It's subtle. It's just a small font. Nothing too fancy. And then I think I want to use my little circle. Stitch circle, the smallest one. Yes, that will be brilliant. And my washi. Spent most of the day in my sewing room. I haven't done a lot of sewing lately. I've been kind of... Shanda, I don't know if Shanda... Oh, a downline is like, okay, Kim, if you join... I have 3 downlines. If you joined me as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator rather than just shopped with me, you would be my downline. I would be your upline. But because you're only one downline away from Ange McKay, who's my hero, you'd be eligible to participate in all the stuff that Ange McKay does. And she is the best, absolutely the best. So you'd be able to, because you're one step down from me, you can still participate in all kinds of, you know, fun things. There's retreats and there's swaps and classes and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so we've got that. Shanda, I don't know if Shanda is Ange's downline or not. I've known Shanda for a while. We watch each other's lives, and I've never met her in person. But one day we will, Shanda. One day I'm going to meet you in person. But so far, nope. And we just share ideas. Shanda's is Shanda's Stampin' Spot. I can check her out too. Let's do this. Oh, I can start to smell the ribs. They're smelling pretty darn good. Yeah, it's almost time to get a new set of cutting pads out. These are like bowls. Oh, they're still working. I'm just waiting for the giant crack when they decide to... You joined under Ange. Okay, yeah. So we're in the same spot. I have 3 downlines, but none of them do demos. They just like, you know, the discount. So, but they don't do demos. Oh, that's super cute. That's super cute. So let's pop a dimensional on that. And I think, let's see, where are we going to put it? Where do we think it would look good? Maybe just like there, underneath the dragonfly. Don't want it too low because then I think it looks off balance, but maybe just right about there. So I'm just going to put dimensionals on one side. I'm not going to cover it because I'm going to need that to overhang onto the part that already has a dimensional on it. Oh, so who was your upline then? Was it, oh, I forget her name now, the one that Ange does so many classes with? Oh, yeah, it's nice to get all the perks, isn't it? I really enjoy that. There's lots of perks that come with being Ange's downline, and to be honest, I don't think there's a better demo out there, a better upline to have out there. She's very attentive. She does fabulous classes and fabulous things. One of the things I do with her is I do a technique club, which is you place an order with her, and in exchange for that order, you get a package in the mail which has all the bits and everything. And then you have a class with her on the Saturday. So this is my package that came in the mail for me for this class on this Saturday. So it's a bunch of cards and all the stuff to make a bunch of cards, and we all get together and make them. And then there's also the team meeting where you learn all kinds of stuff and see some new stuff and new demos and all that kind of good stuff. So it's very beneficial to belong to a good group. I'm going to put myself a little gold thing down there. And what do we think? I think that's kind of pretty. I love the Winkostella. And the little guys with the Winkostella, they're very subtle. They're there. You can't see them as well as I can see them. But maybe they'll show up better in the photograph. So that's my card for today, and that's my time for today. So again, I am here. Thank you, Shanda. Again, I am here most days at 4 o'clock, not all, but most, every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And you can check me out on my Instagram page. And if there's anything that you saw here today, the top portion of my page has a shopping link on it. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Karen. I really do like this card. It's very, very pretty. And I'm glad we decided to leave some of as much of this paper showing because it's just too beautiful. Thank you, Kim. Yes, I know you will. You're such a loyal student. I love you. All right, so bye for now, peeps, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I won't see you tomorrow. No, I won't. Tomorrow I'm going down to the coast for a memorial for my BFF who passed away. So I will not be on tomorrow, and then the next day is Friday, and I think I will be on Friday, but just watch my Facebook posts to know for sure. I'm pretty sure I'll be on Friday. But lovely to see you here, Shanda. Very nice to see you here. So have a good evening, everybody. And I'm going to go have some ribs. Yay! Bye for now.